Hare Krishna. So we were just meditating on the Invocation mantra, the Sri Isopanisad. And the verse goes, Purnam Ada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachate Purnasya Purnam Adaya Purnam Evasa Shishate. That you have the complete whole, which is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And everything that's emanating from the complete whole are complete units. So when we see this material world, spiritual world, living entities, everything that emanates from the complete whole is also complete units. And we were talking about how we can also realize our completeness in connection with the complete whole. So we're tiny complete units of the big complete whole. And so when you take the example of a great fire, right? You have a fire and you're throwing things into the fire, and certain times you move the fire around or the burning logs, there's sparks that fly out of the fire. And you can see that the spark, especially in dry climates, right? It can be very dangerous when a spark flies off and goes into dry foliage or goes into dry grass, and it can ignite a fire. So the tiny complete units, the living entities, they realize their completeness in connection to the complete whole. But when the spark falls onto a wet grass, then it extinguishes. So us realizing that we're part of the complete whole, the spiritual world, then we have that fire of devotion within our heart. But when we meditate and connect more and more with dull matter, which is compared to wet grass, then the spark can extinguish.
How is it that during especially this crisis, one can see themselves, other people, or even the world as a complete whole in relationship with Krishna?
So we have to understand the nature of the material world, is that we're trying to find a permanent home in a place where there's constant impermanence. Right? So in Bhagavad Gita it says, Nasute vidite bhavo, na bhavo vidite sataha. That the great personalities, ubayor api drishtontas, they've seen through their transcendental vision, they see spirit and they see matter. And spirit is sat, it's eternal. But we're trying to find an eternal home in a place where is non-eternal. So this material world is complete because it's serving the Supreme Lord's will. The will of the Supreme Lord is that the complete whole wants all the complete units back with him. But we're meditating on that wet grass, on that dull matter, and we're trying to have a safe, nice home surrounded by so many loved ones in something that is asat, non-eternal. And so when we think about completeness, how am I going to be complete? All of these things, including the material body, the homes, all these material necessities that we so-called need, all of that is going to be taken away at the time of death. So we have to understand the will and the mission of the complete whole is to get all those complete units back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.